used to go to this cupcake place, and we're on live, by the way. It's Mikey and Vinnie with you on a Monday morning. Good morning. We're talking about
bring your coffee and cupcake and join us, won't you?
Yeah, we're talking about cupcakes. Oddly enough, I used to go to this place on 8th Avenue in Chelsea when I would go back to New York, or drive up from Pittsburgh, and it was a place that was kind of famous for
a certain kind of donut
for cupcakes. And because after when Sex in the City was on, cupcakes were all the rage. Anyway,
do people sit on them? I don't really want to know the answer to that.
No,
do they?
No. But what I saw one person do, it was interesting. It was the only time I'd ever seen it. I was sitting in that place once, with Erin, my daughter, and we were having a cupcake and a glass of milk, as you should have with a cupcake.
Not a bad mixture.
And this woman was sitting like a little, like just to the left of us, and she took the cupcake and she split it in half under the frosting. So with the frosting making like a cupcake top,
mm-hmm.
and then the rest of the cupcake, and she turned it around and she put the frosting on the bottom of the cupcake, and then put that other piece, so making, in essence, a cupcake sandwich.
Or a sandwich.
Right, with a sandwich with the cake on the top and the cake on the bottom and the frosting in the middle.
That sounds just about right.
I had just never seen that before. As a matter of fact, I was so enthralled with it that I actually taped her doing it.
You videoed the process.
I videoed the process because I said, I've never seen anybody eat a cupcake like this before. This was a brand new thing to me. Now, maybe it was something that was going on. Maybe it was something that people knew about, and I didn't. There's lots, believe you me, that you could fill an entire planet with that. But I found it to be interesting, and as I say, interesting enough. And if I would have known we were going to talk about this, I would have looked for the video because I just found it. Every once in a while I go past it in my cloud there and see it and look at it, because it's just one of the most bizarre things I'd ever seen. So,
what flavor was it? Do you recall?
Well, she had pink topping on it, so it could have been anything.
Right. Good
point. It wasn't like a bacon maple thing or a brown thing. It was a pink topping, or a vanilla-y pink topping. So I don't know.
Well, as I was saying before we went on the air, my difficulty with cupcakes is that the frosting sits high atop the cake, and to get it into your mouth when you wear a mustache, as I do, is a degree of difficulty that I have yet to, excuse me for yawning, that I have yet to crack. So the cleansing of the mustache is an ongoing and constant factor. As you eat, you must clean.
Yeah.
You can't wait to the end and then try to get your mustache clean after you've done multiple damage to it. And,
not going to happen.
And you'd say, well, then you carry the taste of the food that you're complaining about with you the rest of the day. That's a plus. Actually, it's not. It's not a plus.
No, after I mean, I've been in that situation, and then also a lot of times you get it on your beard too. I mean, I've worn a beard a lot of my life, and it just gets all over the place. There's no, I think now when you take that into consideration, this woman's way of eating the cupcake becomes more viable. Becomes maybe a way that you should consider eating a cupcake. Now I'm going to have to go back and look at it.
Did she have a mustache? Did you check? Did you notice?
I didn't get that close enough.
Okay.
I mean, she might have. It is New York, and you just never know who's going to be wearing what. You just don't know.
As opposed to Poughkeepsie, where things are pretty much set in stone.
You're this, you're that, you're this. Yeah. And that's it.
You
That's
get a
how it
mustache.
goes.
You get a mustache. You no mustache. You
No
may have your
mustache.
cupcake.
No mustache. No, no,
Proceed
no.
with the cupcake.
So, how's your
That's how they.
hormuz
That's how
this
they
morning?
decide things in Slovakia. By the way, who gets to be Secretary of State? Not you. Not you. Maybe you. Eat your cupcake, and
Well,
we'll find out.
there they probably in Spopaki they probably figure it out based on how much money you got. I mean, it is um a non-monarchy oligarchy. So
So it's a oligarchy, a royal oligarchy with no king.
yeah, it's a oligarchy, non-monarchy oligarchy. Yeah, let's go with that. But it
By
could
the way,
change because they do on every on usually like every third or fourth Friday change the government.
that's a good idea.
So it could be democracy next time we go back.
By the way, I've been saying that I have seen no sightings of Marco Rubio, the alleged Secretary of State of our nation. And I saw him on video or maybe Facebook or Instagram. He was alive and well and in a tuxedo at the correspondence dinner before the
Right.
bad stuff happened. And he was talking to the insult dog with the cigar, you know the one I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Triumph, the insult dog.
And he was enjoying himself to the point where Marco Rubio was laughing and smiling. So, wow, that's breaking news. And the insult dog was true to his roots, and he made Marco laugh. The Secretary
Well,
of State apparently is alive and well and amongst us, and responds well to humorous Rottweilers.
as a matter of fact, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I read somewhere that the Secretary of State is on his way to see the Pope this morning. So I don't know if that's, if maybe they're trying to patch up, or at least
They could
try to
be
get
Marco
some
could
of
be
the.
showing up to be mocked by the Pope because although the Pope is a White Sox fan and you think that's pretty low, Marco Rubio is a Marlins fan and that's the lowest. So mock him when you see him.
Yeah, it's it's not the smartest thing in the world to be making fun of the Pope. As I believe the Trump administration has found out. I mean, I think they're still getting heat from that, and aren't going to lose it anytime soon. People don't forget that stuff. I mean, there's a lot of things that people forget, but when you insult a religious leader like that, I don't think it gets. I don't think it gets forgotten by people.
Whereas you can forget the Mendoza line. You say, is it 218? Is it 213? Is it 217? I can't recall the Mendoza line.
209, isn't it? No, or wasn't it 201? Wasn't it just above 200?
Wow. Was it that bad? I
Yeah,
thought it was
I think it was. Yeah.
217. I'm wrong, I guess.
Yeah, Rubio to visit Rome after Trump's feud with Trump, and I'm trying to see if he's over there already.
Do you think
I
it's
don't
too
know.
late to ask him to bring me a T-shirt?
Well, you want a T-shirt or you want a Popener?
I think I'd like a T-shirt. Popener is sort of your thing, and I don't want to.
Yeah, true, but my thing. But see, my Popener has John Paul II on it. Yours would probably have Leo,
Right.
and would only open Chicago beers. Would only open like what is it, Old Style that they drink in Chicago?
They drink Old Style at Wrigley, and they serve it to you in a can, and they give you the can. Now, that's something that they would never do at Candlestick Park or San Francisco Stadium because the crowd comes unruly. They don't get unruly. They show up, and they're in the tailgating unruly mood. Some of it is because that's who they think they should be, and some of it just reacting to the season that the Giants are having. But the mood in Chicago apparently is calmer, so they can be trusted with holding the actual can that the beer comes in without throwing it or using it as a weapon.
I don't know, Michael. I mean, I've been to games at Wrigley Field, and I
Mhm.
would say that the crowd at Wrigley Field is a lot crazier than the crowd at Candlestick. I mean, that's
Do they throw
or
their cans?
yeah. I wonder if they still deal it in cans. I'll have to look and see. Um, I would be shocked if any major league ballpark these days gives people cans,
Because Kristen
full
and I were
cans
in
of beer.
Chicago. If you remember, KKCY did a Chicago Jazz Fest contest, and we got to go to Chicago and go to Union Park and see the variety of jazz artists play. And it was in that town that I enjoyed very much. Stepping to the front of the hotel, cab comes up, I go, Wrigley Field. That felt really good to say. Takes us to Wrigley Field. We see the Reds and the Cubs play, and it was a lot of fun. But
Yeah, it's a blast. I was there for Tom Glavine's 300th win
wow,
when he was pitching for the Mets, and of course it was nice because Lou Piniella, who by the way this past weekend was it this past weekend? Yeah, this past weekend was inducted into the Reds Hall of Fame. It was nice to see pictures of him with the Nasty Boys back again. Lou looks good. He looks very good. And anyway, yeah, and I've been to probably 4 or 5 times to Wrigley Field, and it's a great place to watch a game. I liked it a lot better in the old days. I mean, the first time I went there was in 78, 79, something like that. And it was it was still a wild place. Baseball hadn't gotten out of hand like it is now. The bleacher bums were still the bleacher bums. As a matter of fact, the bleacher bums was playing in Chicago when I was there. I kind of wanted to go and get the full experience.
who wrote the Bleacher Bums?
I forget who wrote it. But I know that Dennis Franz starred in it. The Andy Sipowicz and Norman Bunce from Hill Street Blues and NYPD Blue fame, and he and Beverly Hills Bunce fame. I mean, let's not forget that one.
Let's not forget to stay safe out there.
Hey, man, let's be careful out there. But yeah, that was it's a great place. The whole neighborhood around it is cool, because it's in the middle of a neighborhood. There's a McDonald's across the street. You can go grab a Coke at McDonald's and then go in. It's they closed. I think it's Addison Street, or is it Waveland Avenue? I think it's Waveland Avenue that used to be where the home runs would go over the bleachers and go down onto the street, and the kids used to run after them. I don't know that that's open to traffic anymore. I think when they renovated it, they may have closed that to traffic.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
And they reinforced all those rooftops so that people could sell seats on the rooftops on top of it. So everybody was making money. We did a thing once. The All-Star game was there in 92, 91. I think it was 91 or 92. And they had at the All-Star game, they showed this guy who lived across the street from Wrigley and was sitting. They put a camera on him sitting in his living room watching the game.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
The guy's name was Jay Leggett, and somehow they said his name on TV. So the next day, I think it's when I was doing BJ's show. BJ and Blake, we called up Jay Leggett and we got him on the phone and interviewed him. What's it like to live across the street from Wrigley Field? And we actually had him I might even had him on KJR when I was doing the evening show once or twice. But he lived in one of those houses. Must have been a while. Probably have a lot of friends coming over all the time.
I would think that there'd be a steady stream of appreciators.
How did your Giants do over the weekend?
I think they split. They were playing Marlins, the aforementioned lowly Marlins, beat them 1-0. In the second game, I can't remember the score right now. We are what I would call a reluctant team. They know what to do. They've done it in the past. They are motivated, but they can't seem to begin. That first step is the most difficult one in a long journey, and the Giants have not taken that first step with any conviction in the last couple of days.
Yeah,
and they lost a doubleheader that was really grim because to the people who were in attendance, it was so lackluster and so uninspiring and so guaranteed to create angst in the bleachers that I stopped reading about it. I just couldn't read the accounts of two games back to back that were not really participated in by the Giants. They showed up. They did have their uniforms. They had their bats and their balls, but they didn't use them convincingly. Coffee.
Yeah, that's well, you score one run, it's kind of hard to win. That's for sure. The Mariners had a not such a great weekend. I don't think. They dropped to what are they now? 16-19. I think they won one out of the three games that they played the Royals over the weekend, and you should be able to beat the Royals because they're in the same boat as the Mariners right now. And they just weren't. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I mean, something happened with Cal Raleigh. He's got back spasms or something like that. So, which is a shame because he was getting hot. He was starting to heat up. And unfortunately, and the Mets won a game.
Yay.
They beat the Angels. And in California, where no Mets fans probably saw it because most of the Mets fans have given up on the Mets. They say, it ain't early in New York. This is a fast city.
We've seen early, and this ain't it.
And you're going down, and it's it's almost unwatchable. You almost can't watch it on social media. You can't, you look at all of these different Mets groups, and it's just, they're ripping everybody for everything. There's nothing that they're not ripping. They're ripping the owner. He's got the second or third highest payroll in baseball, and people are ripping the guy. They're definitely ripping the general manager, David Stearns. He's getting ripped horribly. And I can't say it's not justified in many ways. They let a fan favorite go over the winter, and Pete Alonso was a big part of this team, not just with his bat, but with his, just his spirit on the team, and he was a good first baseman. Not great, but good.
Have the Oriole fans warmed to him?
I think they have. I think they have. I mean, I know he's hit a few home runs. I don't know if he's on the pace as he's been other years yet, but they've kind of warmed up to him. They have not warmed up to Jorge Polanco, who is his replacement at first base.
Yeah.
And can't see maybe the worst first baseman they've had in New York since Dave Kingman.
I was going to say Dave Kingman. Poor Dave.
I have a Dave Kingman baseball glove, and it's great because it's lighter than my other gloves.
And
it has a hole in
right?
it and no webbing.
That's the way it comes. It comes abused.
Comes like that, yes. Oh man. So that's that's the story from baseball. I mean, it's just none of our teams are really doing anything to get excited about. But
no.
You're in May still. I'll still go with the it's early, but with the Mets, I don't see anything that tells me that it's going to get better. When they're fighting about politics, that's when you're in trouble. When guys are fighting about, stupid stuff. Lindor went down with an injury, so I don't know how long he's going to be out. And Soto has been hitting the ball. He's probably the only bright spot on that team right now. So we'll see what happens.
I made a mathematical error last time we spoke. I think it was Monday. It could have been Friday's show, talking about Kristen and my anniversary.
Yes.
It's not 41 years, it's 42 years.
42 years tomorrow.
42 years of marriage. We were married Cinco de Mayo, 1984 in Marin.
Okay. So I was going to save wishing you a happy anniversary until the end of the show, but I'll just do it now. Happy anniversary, guys.
Thank you very kindly.
So it's no small feat to be married 41 years. 41. 42. No small feat to be married. I don't think it's a small feat to be married 42 months, 42 weeks these days, especially if you watch 90 Day Fiancé all the time.
That's, that's not going to train you for longevity.
No, that show is a train wreck, pal.
There's just people that you don't want to meet. You don't want to be emotionally tied to their daily output of weird energy.
But yet, you kind of want to look like when you see it on the TV or come up in social media, you kind of want to look at it. You kind of want to see, can it get any worse? And they deliver. Every time you look at it, it gets worse.
True. It's inspiring. You think that's worse? I can show you worse.
Yeah, I'll show you what worse is. Maybe they ought to have a 90-day fiancé for this administration. That would be a 90-day administration. You come in, you get hired by the administration, you have 90 days, or you get fired.
What are you intending to do in those 90 days? What are you supposed to accomplish?
Straighten out your department. I mean, how long did Christine Nome last? 90 days? Well, probably a little bit longer. I don't know.
She was not that promising ever. She did not, the optics, as they say, did not encourage people to think that Christie was going to figure it out and do a great job. No.
Yeah. Yes, she.
Tulsi Gabbard, whatever Christie Nome had, Tulsi Gabbard's got it now, and I wish she didn't. I wish she wouldn't.
Well, and then it's just it's a clown show. I mean, it's really the more you look at it, the more you worry. Now we're going to use the U.S. Navy to escort ships around the Gulf of Hormuz, the Straits of Hormuz, excuse me, the Arabian Gulf, but the Straits of Hormuz.
Right.
And so it has people asking this morning, how's your Hormuz?
Straight. Damn straight of my Hormuz.
Damn straits. The damn Straits of Hormuz. But
I can't tell if they're open or not. It was so easy before this war because the Strait of Hormuz was always open. And ships were coming through, coming and going, keeping the oil business afloat and keeping prices in California down to like $3 and something, where now it is, I have to get gas, so I'll let you know the exact numbers, but I'm expecting to see gas in the upper fives or low six for my fill up today.
I bought gas yesterday at $5.95. I had to buy premium yesterday. The car that I'm driving this week takes premium gas.
What kind of car was that?
It's a Toyota Land Cruiser.
Oh, that's right. I saw it.
And so it was $5.95 for gasoline. That may be the most I've ever paid for gasoline.
I remember the first time I paid 50 cents for a gallon of gas, and it was such a shock that the price had risen to 50 cents for a gallon of gas that with no gas in my car, I refused to pay it. And I put the cap back on, closed the snapper, and left looking for cheaper gas.
Oh, man. I remember, anybody that's our age remembers the days when it was, $39.9 a gallon and $29.9 for regular. And that was for good gas, not cheap gas. I mean, that was for the good stuff, Amoco or Esso or Exxon now, and or Texaco or Chevron or Union 76. The Union 76, which is pretty much acknowledged to be some of the best gas out there. I mean, they're at $6.25. I forget what it is on the station across from me, but I was on Capitol Hill yesterday, and it was $6.50 for a gallon of gas. Regular gas, not even premium. Regular gas was $6.50 on Capitol Hill. So I don't know what's going to bring it down. Most of the experts, the so-called experts that I watch or I check out, there's a really good YouTube channel that I look at called What's Up with Shipping. And this guy gives you a pretty good idea of, guess what's going on with shipping, and does it in a good, he's got a little sense of humor to him. So, but he's a professor at a maritime college. I forget if it's on the East Coast or the West Coast. I forgot, but anyway, he does, and he's been doing daily updates on the Straits of Hormuz, and he is not optimistic. Most of the financial people that you see, and I'm talking about ones that not the guys that have some invented name under there, but people that are working for banks and do YouTube channels, think we haven't seen even the worst of it yet.
It's not very encouraging.
No. And again, I don't know what you can do about it. Can you release more strategic oil supplies? Well, if you do that, you deplete your own reserve for the military.
Well,
maybe that's the idea.
To ask themselves, What were they saving the gas for? What opportunity or event or outcome would cause you to release some of your saved gas? What are you saving it for? What sort of emergency do you foresee
I
where you
guess a
would use
war,
some of
right?
it?
I guess if they have a war, but we have a war already.
We got a
Oh,
nice
no, it's
little
not a
war.
war. We have a war.
Well, I think we do have a war.
Now, we're not actively participating in the war that we have.
We
Like
can't.
many things that we do these days,
We went to war, but we just couldn't stay there.
right, we got halfway through it, and then we said, well, let's wait 2 weeks and see what happens.
Let's go work. Let's go to Bedford and work on our putting.
Yeah, let's see how our golf game gets, and we'll go from there. We'll see how
Bedminster,
it
I guess
is.
it's called.
So it is kind of pathetic. I mean, I hope that hopefully things will they'll figure something out. I mean, they keep sending proposals back and forth, but they're not good enough for Trump.
I wonder if he reads them or he just reacts viscerally by holding the envelope against his temple like Karnak the Magnificent.
Yeah, who knows what he does. But although he said something on Friday, and listen, I want to give credit where credit is due.
You want to be fair, like Democrats are always trying to be fair.
I want to
Trump
be
has
fair.
been a terrible man, and he's done horrible things. But to be fair,
I want to be fair. He actually, much like a bad watch,
he's right.
That can be right 2 times a day. He did something, or he's at least attempting to do something good.
Mm-hmm.
He, I guess, is introducing an executive order, and I really hate this governing by executive order crap. It just doesn't feel right. But where he is going to authorize Medicare to pay for these weight loss drugs and these heart drugs,
Ozempic
and Wegovy, and so on and so forth. That you'll pay a $50 a month copay, which is actually going to be good for a lot of people. If it's true, if it's not some kind of bullshit, it'll help a lot of people out. Now, obviously, he knows his audience. He made that announcement when he was at the Villages last week. So,
yeah.
But there's a lot of people that the medicine helps out, and they'll be able to afford it with Medicare. And also not just for weight loss, but it's a heart medicine. It does a bunch of different things. It's as I heard one person say, it's a multi-purpose medicine.
Well, we need something for plaque psoriasis because according to the commercials that you see watching cable news, everybody's got it. If you want to get rid of it, you're going to have to ask your doctor about Scooby-Doo or whatever the medicine's called. And I can't shake this feeling that there's 2 things that trouble America. Leaves in their gutters. They can't keep the leaves out of their gutters no matter what they do. You got to have a guy come out to the house. He gets up on the ladder. He gives you a free estimate. He looks at the gutters, tells you that you need his equipment, and he can install it in probably 1 day, maybe, but probably more.
Oh, he's got the stuff in his car. He'll put it up right now for you. It'll cover your gutter. Would you like to have your gutter covered?
And then it's just going to be me and plaque psoriasis, the only 2 problems in town.
No, I got a new one for you.
Yeah. Do tell.
If you watch YouTube at all, YouTube for the past few months has been flooded with commercials for chair Tai Chi.
You just sit down and...
This is a bunch of Chinese guys who are running around your YouTube channel with no shirts on, that and abs that can only be gotten by years of work, telling people that if you sit in a chair for 30 days, you will look like this.
You look like Poncho right here. Take a look at Poncho. This is what you're going to look like just by sitting in the folding chair.
Sit in a chair, do the chair Tai Chi, that your wife will not recognize you in 30 days.
Now, there are some problems with that, especially when you come home after playing poker till late in the evening, and she realizes that she does not recognize the man who just walked in the front door, and now wants to go to the bedroom. Who is this guy? And
I don't recognize him.
that's what a week of chair Tai Chi will do.
And in Florida,
You get shot right in your abs.
yeah, in Florida, I mean, they have that law where you can just shoot somebody if you don't recognize them.
Yep.
It's just
It's the Alzheimer law.
yeah. I don't recognize you. Boom.
Dad, don't you know who I am?
No.
Look like that guy from the Ozempic commercial. I hate that commercial. Boom.
Oh, the Ozempic.
Whoever wrote that song, think about it. You wrote the song, it was a hit, and then years later, it comes back with new lyrics, and you just go, well, I'll take the check, but who would have, this ain't right.
They'll take the check. I mean, that's the thing. They're probably paying big money. This guy wrote this song. It was a one-hit wonder. Back in, what was it? The middle 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably never thought he'd see a dime on that on that thing ever again. A couple of years ago, they put out this medicine, and it rhymes with the title of the song. And here you go. He's probably floating in money right now. Or he should be if he's got a good agent or a good business manager.
Yeah.
I mean, because these drug companies are so profitable and making so much money hand over fist.
They just wanted to be in on it. They realized that the Strait of HORMUZ being open or closed does not affect the cost of their product. But to be on the safe side, they doubled the cost anyway, doubled the price, just to go along with the trend. It's nothing personal. It's nothing financial. It's nothing economical. It's just corporate leaders trying to capitalize on a trend. Higher prices.
You don't want to get caught being a corporate leader, being a corporate person who doesn't capitalize your ability to extract as much money as possible out of people. You don't want to get caught. You don't want to be that guy who says, well, you know what? I'm going to leave some money on the table because times are tough for people. So I won't get as much as I can for my product. Maybe I'll get 80% of what I could really get for it. I'll still be making money hand over fist. But, I'll leave a little breathing room for people. I'll do the right thing.
It doesn't sound like corporate pricing in America to me. Doing the right thing is something that they don't even talk about anymore.
Well, funny you mention that, Michael, because, and I was just having this conversation with my lovely sister last week. We were talking about, we complain about Ticketmaster and all of these other ticket companies that do this dynamic pricing. They according to what the traffic is on an event, that's how they price their tickets. So if they think they can get, $1,000 for $100 ticket, they'll put it out there for $1,000. And, we as a nation complain about it, scream about it, but we still buy the tickets. Well, never wanting to leave a stone unturned, supermarket chains have gotten in on the act. Through your loyalty card and your credit profile, supermarkets can figure out how much they could charge somebody for an item, not according to what the item should sell for, but according to what maybe an aggregate credit score of a certain neighborhood should be.
If you live in Pasadena, you should be
You
giving
should be
these numbers.
well-heeled enough to pay 20 cents more for that gallon of milk than if you live, I don't know, up the road there in, I don't know, another smaller town. Not as not as well-heeled as Pasadena.
That would be Van Nuys then.
And it would be it's something that's been happening with companies up and down, back and forth. It happens with in the supermarkets. For some reason, it happens more than regularly. So the governor of Maryland said, "You know what? We've had enough with that. We are now this morning going to pass a bill that makes it illegal for companies, supermarket chains, to do that." They're basically saying that dynamic pricing cannot happen in our state, with very few exceptions. That it's now illegal. It's against the law. If you do it, we'll fine you $25 or something. Unfortunately, it. But that's now what they are doing in Maryland, and hopefully other states will follow, because it's ridiculous. Then you go to a store and one day a roast beef is $5.79 a pound, and because you walk in and your credit score is a 700, you're going to pay $8.79 a pound. And I'm not
tough
sure.
in line. It's tough in line when I have an item and you have the exact same item. You watch me pay $1 for it, and they charge you $3 for it.
Well, in essence, I guess that's what's happening, or some derivative of that. Maybe they change it weekly or something like that. But that's it. It all goes according to your credit score, how much you spend in the store, what you buy. So the same way that they do the loyalty programs where they drop the price on certain items that you buy all the time, they figured out that they could raise the price on certain items that you buy.
And what are you going to do anyway? What are you going to do about it? You're going to put that pasta back and say, we're not having pasta till they get their head right.
Well, what it does, Michael, to me, is it makes Mandami's idea of state-run grocery stores start to look a little better.
Provide competition with a better price and a structure that keeps the price low, keeps it not just competitive, but lower than if a Trader Joe's is going to sell it for $1.79, Mondami's stores will sell it for $1.59.
Yeah. Or at least at what the market, make it affordable, accessible for people, and not raise the prices because you want to raise the profits. because it's now again a lot of people that are against something like that say, well, we don't want the we don't want the government going into business. That's what they did in Russia, and look how that worked out. Uh, there's got to be some kind of control over it. Again,
it's out of control, so let's bring it under control.
We've proven time and time again that when you leave corporate America to its devices, that it will screw people a lot of times. I mean, I don't like the idea of nationalization of different businesses. There's some people talking about, well, we should nationalize the oil companies or this or that. They'll never do it. But, and I don't know that I agree with that, but there has to be some kind of, because the problem is today you don't have politicians with the nerve enough to do something like it, to say to corporate America, hang on, freeze your prices.
As Bert Lahr would say, the noive.
The noive of them. So, I don't know. It's an interesting idea, but congratulations to Maryland for coming up with that and recognizing that it's it's something that should be addressed. Dynamic pricing needs to be addressed. And I'm just trying to punch the article up here. I lost it somehow. But yeah, first place to ban dynamic pricing in grocery stores, and it could impact. And I'm just looking at this here. It'll go into effect in October, and it prohibits grocery stores and third-party delivery services from using consumer data to boost prices. So because it's not only the grocery stores, but it's the Uber Eats and all of these different delivery services that do it as well. I mean, Uber also does it, but they do it compared to how busy they are. Maybe that's not the best example, when they put on the surcharges because they're busy. But this is, they've been using customers' personal data to set higher prices. Surveillance pricing, driven by artificial intelligence. Of course, you knew that artificial intelligence had to be behind this. Can lead to two consumers paying different amounts for the same item from the same retailer at roughly the same time. If a store knows, for example, that one of those customers lives in a wealthier neighborhood, it can charge that person a higher price. $10,000 for running afoul of the law, $25,000 for repeat offenses. Wes Moore of Maryland, the governor there, says that we got to do something about companies using our personal data against us. I'm trying to see. 33 states have introduced bills seeking to either ban or force companies to disclose their use of the practice. California, Colorado, New Jersey, and Illinois are among the other states considering banning it. I don't know. It's amazing to me that they would do something like that, but yet not amazing, is it?
No, it's required. In fact, if you think that normal response to an abnormal situation is going to solve it, then you conduct magical thinking in the rest of your life, it's going to back up on you rather quickly. The idea that Americans will trust their companies to do the right thing without forcing it is not realistic. They're going to whine, they're going to complain, they're going to take you to court, but price controls has to be introduced to the environment, or else we can't put the brakes on.
Yeah, it's yeah, you're it's like with all of this internet stuff, all of the social media stuff, there seems to be no laws or no government regulation of it to protect people. And the people that run these companies have bought their way.
Into the cat video business.
Yeah, into no regulations. And anytime you come up with any kind of regulation, or anytime a state comes up with any kind of regulation, every time the government comes up with a regulation, they launch multi-million-dollar campaigns to stop it. So it's increasingly, if you go humans against artificial intelligence, I fear that humans are going to lose the fight eventually. If there's no kind of government regulation, if there's no kind of, and this is what pisses me off, because this is what the government should be looking at. This is what the federal government should be looking at, right?
Well, under normal circumstances, which are so far in the rearview mirror, I don't even know what they look like anymore. But the idea that Trump's administration is prepared to do something for the benefit of the American people is unbelievable. It cannot be believed. It's not in his nature. It's not in the nature of the people who work for him and cower in his shadow. No one involved in this administration from the top down is willing or prepared or even inclined to do something positive for the American people in any subject, in any category. Can't be expected.
How sad is it? I mean, it's just, it's just that they get away with so much, and as a consumer, you just feel kind of helpless. What are you going to do? I mean, I guess you got to go to places that that refuses to do that to their customers. And there are places out there. I mean, I think, I know I shop at Winco. I don't think that they use a system like that. I'd be surprised if they did. I think that, a QFC or something like that, or Kroger probably does use a system like that. And that's why you see prices so high in some of these stores. I mean, it's sometimes you go for a box of cookies and there's $1.50 difference in the price between what you see at Winco and what you see at QFC or a Kroger store.
In some stores where you're a regular customer, you can participate in the savings. That is, you get a club price. It'll save you $5 on a $50 bill, $50 total. But makes you wonder, is that 50 cents that you saved on that item just added on unnecessarily and then taken off to make it look good?
Right. If they drop the 50 cents somewhere, or, consequently, how much do they get paid for selling your information that you gave them to get that discount?
Yeah, right.
I mean, you got 50 cents. Did they get $100 for your information? 1,000?
And how much would you pay at Zabar's for the same product that without a chance of a discount?
Yeah. again, it just seems that at every turn, the consumer's taking it in the shorts these days.
With no regard for turning it down, turning it back, fixing it. There's not even a promise to fix it later.
And now, a perfect excuse has come up where they can raise gasoline prices.
Yeah.
You know, this Gulf of Hormuz thing, and this Iran war. I mean, I'm sure that prices are going, are legitimately going up because the supply is down. But are you going to tell me that some of these companies, some of these retailers, some of these people aren't adding a little more onto it? Let's make it while we can. Oil companies had record profits last quarter.
Well, they should.
I mean, they're swimming in money. And if they can make record profits, why can't they give some of that back to the consumer?
They would never consider doing the right thing in a wartime, high-cost, inflationary, forced price increase situation. They wouldn't say, well, we can see that Iran has caused this war, made it worse as they go along, made it more expensive by closing the strait. We're going to play ball. We're going to say 466 is the ceiling. Not going to get any higher. It's never going to be $5 gas. You can count on us. That's our promise to you, the consumer. You've been buying our gas since you were 16 years old. Thank you for that. And in return, we're going to fix the price right here, right now. We'll roll it back to 465 and make it 463. I'm a man of my word. Let's get the price down and fill up your tank today. Go to your favorite Exxon station and remember the Exxon Valdez and fill your tank.
Oh, man.
It's something I have to do today. I'm going to get a reality bite today. It's not going to be very pleasant.
Yeah, you're going to get a reality check. I got one yesterday when there was no Costco around, and I had to go to. Actually, I went to Safeway, and I still got a 20-cent discount from Safeway because I had credit built up on my Safeway account, but still. It was a ridiculous price, but I said $6-7 by 4th of July, and I still don't think I'm wrong.
I wonder if any organization can sell their own gas when Piggly Wiggly has a gas station right next to their outlet store, and you can go in there and get gas at a discount. Why not? Why not everybody? Macy's can sell gas.
Well, Costco is actually doing that. Costco is going to, I forget the amount, but it's a couple of hundred standalone gas stations. They're getting ready to build them. If they haven't started already in some places. But these are gas stations that will not be in a Costco store parking lot. That will just be standalone gas stations.
With the Costco price.
With the Costco price.
For members only.
Yeah. I mean, this is an organization, Costco, that does the right thing. I'm sure they can get more money for their gasoline. But they keep it low. I don't know if you want to, it's the same thing with the hot dog and the soda, right?
Don't forget the mustard jar, which is larger than the state of Maryland. It comes along with the Costco experience. Big lifetime. Yeah. Lifetime supply.
Big mustard. You could take some of that mustard, put it in a little plastic bag, and take it home for your ham sandwich. Just take it home with you. Well, before we go, Michael, before we get out of here, just want to acknowledge the passing of Yankees broadcaster John Sterling. who passed away. He retired a couple of years ago. My friend Dave Sims slipped into that slot quite admirably, I think 2 years ago. But we have a personal connection to John. I don't know if you remember Jennifer Contreras from KJR back in the day was wound up marrying John.
Wow.
So, and she was a producer for us. I think she produced the Midday Show or the Babe, along with Jay. But they were, but Jennifer was a part of the early iteration of KJR when you and I did mornings. And, you know, the guy made himself as much of a part of the Yankees as anybody. You know, certainly as much of a part of the Yankees as somebody who didn't play ball. But his home run call and then his game ending, the Yankees win, you know, is the soundtrack in New York, man.
Yeah.
So our condolences to Jennifer and his children. And 87 years old, man. It's a good run.
Yeah.
And, you know, the one thing that we talk about, I just want to say about them is, you know, him and Susan Waldman did that show, did that broadcasting for years. And again, it was a great show because they were performers. John Sterling had been in radio for years. His father was a radio icon in New York. And Susan Waldman came from Broadway and had a love of baseball, and she was a reporter for WFAN, and when the job opened up, she got it. And she became the first woman Major League play-by-play announcer. Now it's a lot more common.
For the New York Yankees. It wasn't
the Yankees, yes.
It was a podunk AAA team.
Right. She became, you know, I mean, she really stepped into the job well, and her and Sterling did a great show together. Not just called the game, but they did a great show together. Much as Keith Hernandez and Ron Darling and Gary Cohen do now for the Mets, although it ain't pretty these days.
Harder to put a positive spin on it. It's lipstick on a pig time in the National League.
Well, yeah, that's the good thing is that they don't put a positive spin on it. You know, they you know, Hernandez especially, he's got a penchant for telling it like it is, and he does.
That's what the fan wants.
Yeah, these days that is what the fan wants. All right, Mikey.
Okay, Vinny.
See you on well, I won't see you Wednesday. I'll be at Mudfest.
Excellent. Have fun. And,
see you on Friday.
Wash off the mud you get on the Bentley, please. Don't let
I will make sure I take the mud off the Bentley.
You can sell the mud. This mud at $1 a pound was once on a Bentley.
This is good mud. This is the mud you want.
It's tested.
If you're making mud pies, this is the Himalayan pink salt of mud.
And you will be where for Mudfest?
Down in Shelton at the Ridge Motorsport Park. We'll get to also see the brand new Scout, the electric SUV that's coming out next year. They'll have it down at the Mudfest. See if we're going to get it all muddy.
And maybe check on your distributors and people watching the auto industry. How are sales going for electric cars with these high gas prices?
They're up. In some places, they're saying it's up 28%.
Wow. Over
the last 2 months. Yeah, the electric car is making a comeback. We were talking about it on Drive Time Saturday. Anybody who said the electric car was dying,
They've never been to the Strait of Hormuz.
They've never been through the Strait of Hormuz. Mike,
See you, Vin.
see you on Friday if the Lord's will and the creek don't rise. Peace, love, and Manischewitz, baby. Thank you all for listening. We appreciate it, as always.